Have you ever stood in front of a mirror and not recognized the person looking back? Meet Omar. It's 2 in the morning, in the middle of a cold Toronto night. He's delivering food to a luxury condo. Back in Cairo, Omar was a senior structural engineer. He was respected. He was a professional. He helped build bridges that spanned the Nile, massive structures that carried thousands of people every single day. His signature on a blueprint meant safety. It meant progress. His work mattered. But tonight, in the freezing slush of Toronto, none of that matters. He's just a number on a delivery app. A ghost in the system. The security guard barely glances up. To the people in the penthouse, he's invisible. He's just the food guy. A momentary transaction. He moved here for a better life for his family. But for 14 long months, he's been completely trapped in survival mode. It's a relentless cycle. 12 hours driving, delivering food to people he'll never meet. 8 hours of exhausted, dreamless sleep. And 4 hours, in the dead of night, staring at the ceiling, asking himself the same crushing question, is this it? Is this all my life is going to be? He looks at the small photo of his wife and daughter taped to his dashboard. The guilt is a physical weight. He's not making progress. He's just surviving. Then one Tuesday morning, delivering coffee to a construction site, everything changed. It was a simple, routine drop-off, just like 1,000 others. He walked into the site trailer and there on the table, spread out under the harsh fluorescent lights, were a set of blueprints, the language he understood. His eyes scanned the drawings, and without even thinking, a whisper escaped his lips. That's a beautiful solution for the wind load. A man at the desk, Arthur, looked up, completely surprised. He took in Omar's delivery uniform, the coffee tray in his hands, and a look of disbelief crossed his face. You're a delivery driver who knows about wind loads? For the first time in over a year, someone saw the engineer, not the driver. They sat on a bench outside and Arthur, the site supervisor, drew a simple triangle on a napkin. He then told Omar the hard truth that most immigrants never get to hear. Canada doesn't lack engineers, Arthur said, his voice kind but firm. It has plenty. What it lacks are engineers who know how to talk to Canadians. Your technical skills got you here, but they won't get you a job. You have to learn the local codes, the software, the communication style. You have to prove you belong in this market, not just the one you left. That conversation was the spark. The triangle on the napkin was a map. That very night, Omar made a vow to himself. No more hitting the snooze button. No more feeling sorry for himself. The alarm was set for 4 a.m., and when it went off, he got up. While the entire city slept, Omar started to rebuild himself, one dark morning at a time. At a small, cluttered desk in his apartment, with a steaming cup of coffee, he became an engineer again. He dove into Canadian building codes, mastering the nuances. He taught himself the new industry software he'd never had access to back home. In the quiet solitude of 4 a.m., he wasn't a delivery driver. He was a student. He was a professional. He was sharpening his mind. After 30 days, he started his offensive. He didn't just apply for jobs with a generic resume. That hadn't worked. Instead, he started reaching out to engineering managers on LinkedIn, but his message was different. He'd built small project models based on their company's work and wrote, "I've built a model addressing a potential challenge. Can I get just 10 minutes of your expert advice?" He wasn't asking for a job. He was offering a solution. He was demonstrating value up front. The response was brutal at first. 40 messages were completely ignored. 10 people replied with a polite but firm no. It was discouraging. But then 2 emails lit up his inbox. 2 said yes. 2 conversations were all he needed to get a foot in the door. The path wasn't a straight line. On day 75, his old car, the engine of his survival, broke down. The repair bill was devastating. He started skipping meals just to save enough money to pay for his professional certification exams. The pressure was immense. He almost quit. He almost gave in to the voice that said this was all a waste of time. But then, as the sun began to rise, he remembered what Arthur told him on that bench. The morning is where the future is built. And so, he opened his laptop. He got back to work. On day 92, Omar walked into a downtown Toronto office tower. He was wearing a suit he bought from a thrift store. But this time, he wasn't delivering food. And he wasn't asking for a chance. He was there to claim what he had earned. In the boardroom, he didn't just talk about his past experience in Cairo. He opened his laptop and showed them what he had built at 4 a.m. every single morning for the past 3 months. He showed them his models, his understanding of Canadian codes, his discipline. He didn't just present a resume, he presented proof. He presented results. The hiring managers in that room didn't see a delivery driver. They saw a senior engineer who simply refused to quit. He got the job. Success isn't a single destination you arrive at. It's a daily practice, a commitment you make to yourself when no one is watching. A few months later, at the airport arrivals gate, Omar's daughter ran into his arms. He was finally able to bring his family to their new home. This was the real homecoming. This was the future he had built. Omar doesn't drive for a delivery app anymore. Now, he helps design the city he once drove through as a stranger. His superpower wasn't his degree from back home. It was his 4 a.m. It was the decision to own his morning, to build his future while the rest of the world was sleeping. So let me ask you, what is your 4 a.m.? What dream are you building in the quiet hours before the day begins? Don't let your current situation define your future. Set the alarm, don't hit snooze, your second act is waiting. This is Payam, and it is Freedom Friday, a weekly program that aims to set you free. Subscribe and join this community of people who refuse to stay invisible. Your superpower is waiting to be unlocked.